Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a predictions video once again on the channels. We are going to be previewing tomorrow's NASCAR Cup Series race at the Auto Club Speedway, a 200-lap, 400-mile event around the bumpy racetrack. We saw drivers struggling in practice and qualifying earlier on this Saturday evening, and I want to see exactly how my predictions are going to play out for tomorrow. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll jump right into those predictions. As usual, we talk about drivers who likely won't perform well, potential underdog or dark horse picks, as well as the drivers you should absolutely have in your lineup that will compete for the win, in my opinion, then my overall race winner at the end of it. Last week's predictions in the Daytona 500, not so hot. I think I went 2 for 6, or 2 for 4. In all 6 predictions I had across the board. A little bit more on the prediction side this week, so a chance to either make up more or maybe put myself in an even deeper hole. We'll have to see how that plays out. Last week I predicted Joey Logano to win the Daytona 500. Although he had one of the faster cars in the field, it was his teammate Austin Cindric, the rookie, getting the job done in his 8th career start. So we'll see if I can try to get that race winner predicted correctly this weekend. But first, we're going to start off with the don't have picks. These are 2 drivers you should absolutely stay away from in your lineup today. Some of it has to do with practice and qualifying, as well as just their overall statistics at this racetrack in recent years. We're going to start off with Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, first and foremost, did not even qualify today. He had the minimal practice session still, but that was going to be it to try and tune his car in. He not only has to start from the rear of the field, but he has to have a pass-through penalty at the beginning of the race. So if we have a long green flag run to start the race off, he could get trapped a lap down and struggle to get that lap back, especially on a bumpy track like Auto Club. You're not going to want to stay out of the pits and take the wave around to hope for another quick yellow. It's too big of a risk because you're going to lose even more time if it stays under green flag, and it's just not a good risk. So not a good spot for Kurt Busch to be in right out of the gate. He has not run well with the next-gen car. He missed the Busch Clash main event. I know that was a much different racetrack, but between that, he did not run well at Daytona compared to his teammate Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace just shellacked him all weekend, both in the duels. Qualifying, it seemed like Wallace's car was much faster than Kurt Busch's. So overall, that 45 team, which is a new team, I think is struggling out of the gate, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think Kurt Busch, obviously, is a former champion. Most people probably think that he has more talent in his race car than Bubba Wallace, but I think with it being just a new team in general, it's not like he's going to a team that's already formed and trying to uplift it. He's literally going to a whole new race team, and I think those are the challenges that are really having Kurt Busch struggle in the early going of this 2022 campaign. His stats at Auto Club, not that great as well to back it up. He only has 1 top 10 in the last 4 Auto Club races with the low downforce package, so that is just not good either. In fact, actually, if you go into the last 3 races with the low downforce package, he does not have any top 10s, which would have been ran when he was with Stewart-Haas Racing from 2017 through 2016 through 2018. 2019, 2020 were both ran with the 550 package with Chip Ganassi Racing. He had 1 top 10 and 1 finish outside the top 10. So if you go to the low downforce side of things, which these cars were sliding around like crazy in practice and qualifying today, drivers were having a major issue. I would not be shocked if Kurt Busch is one of the drivers that maybe goes for a spin tomorrow or struggles. At bare minimum, he does not get a top 10 tomorrow, and he'll have to wait for his first top 10 of the season another week. William Byron is another driver I say to pump the brakes on. Now, I'm high on Byron for this year. I predicted him to win 4 races before the season began, but his stats at Auto Club are not good. He has finished literally 15th in all 3 career starts. It doesn't matter whether it's a 550 package, a 750 package from years past. He's literally finished 15th in all 3 Auto Club starts. So consistent, yes, but 15th, not great considering it's a Hendrick Motorsports Chevy. It's top 10 or bust when you're in that kind of equipment, and in my opinion, my prediction is William Byron to not have a top 10 finish. One thing going on his side correctly is that he was fast in qualifying. I believe he did qualify inside the top 10. He did spin in qualifying, so I believe he still gets his top 10 starting spot. I don't think he hit anything, so he'll keep his same car. He won't have to go to a backup car or anything of that nature unless he just fails, pre-race inspection tomorrow. Then he'll have to start at the back. But as far as qualifying, he's still locked into the top 10. He'll have a good starting spot. Track position will matter. But at the same time, this is a multi-groove racetrack. He could easily go backwards. I think he'll run about mid-pack most of the day. And even if he runs top 10, as long as he doesn't get the top 10, that's where my prediction aligns. I don't think Byron or Kurt Busch will be there by the end of the race. As far as the dark horse picks go, I have 3 of them actually this week. Usually I just do 1 or 2 for each, but I got 3 for the dark horse picks because I was 0 for 1 last week with the dark horse picks. So I'm trying to make up for the lost cause last week. We're going to start off with Austin Dillon in the 3 car. He's been quiet this week in practice and qualifying. Yeah, he's been, outside the top 10, but he's not terrible at the same time. And that's kind of Austin Dillon in a nutshell in his Cup Series career. I think he's maybe not overrated. I just don't think he's taught quite enough. But then again, he only has 3 career wins in however many seasons he's been in the Cup Series. I think he was a rookie in 2014, if I remember correctly. So he has been around for a little bit. He is a veteran. He knows the lower downforce package, and he's pretty good on the 2-mile racetracks. He's had great runs at Michigan in the past. Auto Club is a lot different racetrack now, obviously, because it's a lot more wear and tear. It has not been repaved since it was built back in 1997. But his last 3 races with the low downforce package at Auto Club would include a 10th place finish, another 10th place finish, and 11th. So he has finished 11th or better in 3 straight races, literally 10th, 10th, 11th. In the last 3 low downforce package races at Auto Club, my bold prediction is Austin Dillon gets a top 10 tomorrow. I think he's a good sleeper or dark horse pick for your fantasy team this weekend. Aric Almirola is another good pick. He also spun in qualifying, but he made a great save, I will say. The save of qualifying, save of the weekend so far goes to Aric Almirola. He also, much like Austin Dillon, not great at Auto Club, but he's got good consistent stats here. In his last 3 Auto Club starts, he has finished inside the top 12 in all of them, an 8th, a 9th, and a 12th place finish. And those are all 3 starts he's had with SHR at Auto Club as well. I think just like Austin Dillon, he'll maybe sneak into the back half of the top 10 at the end of the day. I predict Aric Almirola to get a top 10 finish tomorrow. Brad Keselowski is the final driver I have for the dark horse pick, and it's basically considered because of his equipment. He's with Roush now. He's a part owner at Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, and coming out of the gates a little bit slow. Busch Clash failed to make the main event, but they were fast in Daytona, both him and Buescher alike. They both won their dual races. Keselowski led the most laps in the Daytona 500, so a little bit more momentum on their side. Another fast racetrack as far as speeds go, but a lot different kind of handling racetrack at Auto Club. He was actually really, really fast in both practice and qualifying. He also qualified inside the top 10. He also spun in qualifying off the exit of turn 2, which is weird because most of the spins were in turns 3 and 4. Just pushing it a little too hard, and that's pretty much been the main issue in practice and qualifying with guys spinning. I think they're just pushing it as hard as they can so they know that fine line. So I think there won't be as many spins in the race itself, but at the same time, I do think there will be some throughout the course of the race, so it'll be interesting to see what the strategy game is going to play out. Going back to Kiselowski, though, he has the most consecutive top 10s of any active driver at Auto Club. He's got 6 straight top 10 finishes, and he's got 5 top 5s in that stretch, including a win back in 2015. Brad Keselowski is another driver I think gets a top 10, and he gets 2 straight top 10s to start the points series races in the Cup Series for 2022. 2 drivers I have for the must-haves that will not only get top 10s, but are probably my biggest candidates to win this weekend's race. Both of them had a little bit of an issue in practice and qualifying earlier today. I'm not sure for this first guy I'm going to talk about, so I'll just throw it right in here right now. Joey Logano, who was my pick to win the 500 last week, I think he'll have another strong performance this week with his race car at least. They showed a lot of speed. He was fastest in his first group of qualifying, and then he ended up getting into the wall off of turn 4 while he was pacing to actually get the pole in that final session. Unfortunately, with him getting into the wall, I'm not sure if they can buff that out enough and hopefully not go to a backup car. If that's the case, then I believe he'll be starting 7th. If he has to go to a backup car, that's going to be a little bit more interesting, especially considering that he already wrecked the car at Speed Weeks as well, so that is not good for that 22 team. But as far as Joey Logano goes, he's had great speed with the next-gen car. Of course, he won the Busch Clash. He won his heat race in the Busch Clash as well. He almost won the dual race, was less than a lap away before making a bad block on Buescher. At worst, he would have finished top 4 in that one if he didn't even wreck. And then at the Daytona 500, he led some laps. He had one of the strongest cars in the field, got taken out in a wreck that was nothing of his own doing. So he has been fast, and he brought that speed again to Auto Club this weekend, as I mentioned, in qualifying really, really well. I think he was top 5 in practice as well. And for Joey Logano, he's also got some Auto Club success. He's got 6 top 10s in his last 8 Auto Club starts. He's also got 5 top 5s in those same 8 races. He has not won at this track before. He's come close a couple times. He had a runner-up in 2013. He's got 2 third-place finishes here in those 8-race stretches, in that 8-race stretch as well. I think Logano will compete for the win. Again, bare minimum top 10. I think he's a good pick for your fantasy team. And another driver who is very good for your fantasy team would be Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has probably got the best stats all the way around Auto Club of any active driver in the NASCAR Cup Series today. Kyle Busch has 7 top 3 finishes in the last 9 Auto Club starts. He has 3 wins in those same 7 starts, 4 career wins at Auto Club in his entire career. So outside of just those 7 starts, he's got 4 career wins at this racetrack. That's most of any active driver. He has led 564 laps in the last 9 Auto Club races as well, which is insane considering this is only a 200-lap race. That's equivalent to almost 3 full races of laps he's led in the last 9 combined. And again, just like Joey Logano, he's ran well with the next-gen car so far. He also finished second in the Busch Clash. He won his heat race in the Busch Clash. He qualified on the pole in the Busch Clash. Daytona 500, he finished 6th even after getting involved in the big one in which Harrison Burton flipped. Kyle Busch is back, ladies and gentlemen. He was starting to show a little bit of it last year. Now that we got this car, this is the package he's been asking for, as well as many drivers over the last couple years. He got what he wanted, and now that he has it, we're starting to see the old Kyle Busch once again. And in fact, with that being said, Kyle Busch is my pick to win at Auto Club. The only scares he was having from what he thought was a potential transaxle issue, which is the same thing that actually took Tyler Reddick out of the Busch Clash while he was leading that race a few weeks ago. So a little bit of a scare there. That's the only risk with Kyle Busch this weekend. He's either going to blow up in the first 20 laps of the race, or he's going to compete for the win and make it through the race. And Kyle Busch is my pick to win the second race of the 2022 NASCAR season. Comment down below your picks, your predictions. Don't forget to sign up for the Fantasy League on the NASCAR mobile app or website. Search for KRC League, KRC in all caps, capital L on League. And free to join. Just sign up with your email. Chance to win 2 tickets to any NASCAR race of your choosing in 2023 if you win either the regular season or the playoff championship. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.